Hello, how are we? Welcome to another edition of Up the Reds TV with me, Andy Canby. So it's Tuesday, the 8th of October, and let's discuss the season so far. So I'm doing this video because we've got another crappy international break in the football calendar, and as you all know, I absolutely detest international football, so it's not my favourite time of the year. And just to rub it in, there's another one in mid November as well, so great news, absolutely great. Okay, let's get to it then. So um, Liverpool won 9 games out of 10 in all competitions, scoring 23 goals and conceding only 4 in all competitions. That includes 2 in the Premier League. So it's been a great start for Arne Slot. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting that. If I'm honest with you guys, it's he's sort of like transitioned well into his role at Liverpool. Now, I mean, he's down as a head coach. He's not a manager. He's Liverpool's first head coach. I think even Brendan Rodgers didn't come in as a head coach under FSG, I don't think. So yeah. But look, let's be honest. He's fitted into the role really, really well, and I'm more than pleased of how it's started for us, and I'm sure you guys are as well. Incidentally, Arnie has thanked Jurgen on more than one occasion this season of the squad that he's inherited, hence the lack of transfer news at the beginning of the season. Yeah, we signed Freddie Chiesa. Okay, very, very cheap. It's going to be a good signing, I think, for us. And also, what's it called? Georgie Marma Dashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper from Valencia, who's only 23, and he'll be with us next season. But what another good signing he's going to be as well. But other than that, Arnie's kept hold of the squad that he's inherited. And like he said, he thanks Jurgen, for leaving him with a really, really good squad. And I have to be honest, this is probably the best squad that he's worked under. That's no disrespect to where he was previously at Feyenoord. What's he done different to Jurgen Klopp? Various things, really. He said he's just tweaked certain things. I mean, I noticed when they went to pre-season that the training was totally different. I've noticed that the training sessions that we get to see are different. The things that they're doing in the sessions, mainly gym work, strength work. Even when they get out onto the training pitch, the warm-ups are different. So that's probably helped in the lack of outfield players getting injured beginning of the season. I did say in one of my previous videos that I think at one point we had 4 or 5 players, maybe 6 players out at this time of the year. And so, but to have a near enough fully fit squad, apart from Ali, of course, and some others, Harvey Elliott, it's bowled really, really well. Look, we have to be honest. The fixture list has been kind to us at the beginning of the season, and we've made maximum use of that kindness. Yeah, it's been really good. But the next couple of months we will be tested, and we'll be tested to the core, because we have got some tough games coming up. I'll touch upon those fixtures because I've printed out ours, Man City's and Arsenal's mainly up to end of November, beginning of December. So we'll touch on those shortly. Yeah, like I say, our best performances in this first period, for me, have been away fixtures. The Man United one and the AC Milan one. Two different, obviously, competitions, but the reason I say that is because of the formations that we were playing. Man United, when we started at Man United, Man United had the upper hand in the beginning of the game. They were playing a 4-2-4. We were struggling with that. We were trying to play the 4-2-3-1, and we were getting nowhere near them. And then after, I don't know, 20 minutes, that was changed, and we started to find our new way of playing, which is plan B. Arnie does have a plan A, he has a plan B, he might even have a plan C for that. But yeah, those were the performances that I was more than pleased with. The Manchester United and the one away at AC Milan. Yeah, both teams are not the same as what they were, but don't forget, Man United, although we drew the games, did us twice last season, and they knocked us out in the FA Cup as well. So we have to be, we can only take on the games that we played against them. Obviously, AC Milan are not the team that they once were, the giants of European football. The performances are more controlled, they're more measured in what we see. That was from Jurgen Klopp. Yes, it was gun-ho football, and it was 20 minutes of in your face, and let's see if we can get one or two goals and let the game calm down. But from the first whistle to the last whistle, I'm seeing a different approach. I'm seeing we start off as 4-3-3, but it's not 4-3-3 when the game starts. You can see that in the way that we play. It goes like a 4-2-3-1, or in the other two occasions I've meant that we've gone 4-2-4, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that the players can adapt to those formations and adapt very quickly as the game's going on. So yeah, it's been a good start by Arne Slot, and look, he's given credit to all the teams that we've played so far, and he's also said, look, we have got tougher hurdles and tougher games to come as the season progresses. So I like his approach at the interviews. He's very forthright, honest. He just seems to have a level-headed demeanour all the way through the interview. He doesn't raise his voice. He's just one tone. Just talking about raising his voice. That was probably the first time this season at Palace where I saw him screaming and shouting at the referee, who had a nightmare game against us, I thought. So I saw him lose his rag there a couple of times, and he was still talking about the referee at the end of the game. But yeah, he was asked a question, as I was saying, about his, what he looks like in press conferences. He was asked a question, look, where you are in the league, are you and the team getting carried away in how well you've done? And he went, no, we are Liverpool. We're Liverpool Football Club. We have winners in our team: Ali, Verge, Trent, Robbo, Mo. He was going through the team of players that had won something at Liverpool, won everything at Liverpool, and he was saying, no, we've got a really good squad of players, and he's quite happy with that. I have to give credit for his backroom staff as well, not just him. He mentions it a lot as well. He It's not me, it's us, meaning the whole collective, which I also like about him. The players have all said good things about him. They've said all good things about the training sessions, the games, and more importantly, they're also all saying, look, we are adapting to this new style that he's brought to us. And I'm liking that, because that tells me that the players want to learn. They want to do the things about what's being introduced, in the training and in the matches. So they're all singing from the same hymn sheet, if those of you still go to church. Everybody's on the same page. The players that have started, you can see the settled team that he started with. Even when he's made changes, the players that have come in have done an excellent job. You've only got to look at the 5-1 win against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, look, it started great for us. I'm happy, and look, the performances, as I've said, that they've been controlled and measured. We have had certain times where we've been under the cosh. Yeah, last 20 minutes at Wolves was a bit like that. But if you compare that to the last, they learned from that. And the last 30 minutes against Palace, you could see Palace weren't going to score. I know they had half chances, but they've learned from the last game, and they've took it into the next game, and it's been great. So yeah, I have to give credit to his coaching staff. They've come in. The players have adapted really quick. They're still learning. That's why it's been not a busy transfer window. Okay, yeah, Martin Zubimendi, should have come to us. He changed his mind at the last minute. That's his prerogative. Rumours then stated that because his team have not started well in the league, he wants to now come in January. But City will probably end up getting in with Rodri, that's been out, who's going to be out all season. So he might end up going to Pep. But that's just the way Man City works. So, but we've just dusted ourselves down. He's never said publicly, and I don't think he will, we've missed out on a really, really good European Cup winner in Zubimendi. But he's adapted. And talking about adaptations, let's talk about the players. Ali's unfortunately injured again. We know his injuries don't last a couple of weeks. They're a bit longer than that. He came back from a short spell out, and he's injured again. And he's got muscular problems with his lower half of his body. He wasn't happy when Trent passed him that ball, and the way he kicked the ball out, he gets injured. So it is what it is. We've got Queen. He'll be fine for us. Yaros did okay for us when he came on. So I've no worries about that. Trent's just Trent. As he started okay. There's still old parts of him, but he's got other things on his mind. I'm just hoping that he just fully focuses on the football, and I'll mention that as well. Ibu and Virgil, superb, absolutely superb. Joel Kwanzaa signed a contract. Look, he got whisked off at half time in the first game, and Ibu's took his chance, and he's not looked back. And let's say Tsimikas in for Robbo, when Robbo was injured. I think Tsimikas has done fine. He's sort of like he probably played more minutes under Arne Slot in pre-season than any other player. So he and he's revelled in it, so he's done fine. What can you say about the midfielders? We have an array of midfielders. Yeah, we're probably one light, maybe two, but the young lads have been given a chance, and when they've come in, and they've not disappointed. Let's talk about Ryan Gravenberch. I've said on many occasions now, he's been my man of the match. He's different gravy. He's developing that number 6 role into his own, which is great for me. Like I say, Zubimendi should have come in and done that, but it would have probably took Zubimendi a while to get into the pace of the game. But because Ryan came to us last season, he didn't get many games. I think he completed 290 minutes last season under Jurgen. He's been ever present this season, and you have to say the position that he plays. Well, when you see him live, like I've done on 2-3 times, including the 4 times maybe, including the Sevilla game, I've been really impressed with him. He has been top notch to watch. Who do I compare him to? It's very difficult, who I'd compare him to. I mean, Fabinho was the last one, but he was a bit more like a ram raider. But with Ryan, he's actually a ball playing number 6, which we're lucky to have, really, because he can take out 2 or 3 players, and his mind is to try and get forward, as get the attacks going forward. And I think he's loving that position. I said in the last video, look, if he played a bit, imagine what he's like if he played a bit further up, with all the skill set that he's got for a big fella. So I'm quite happy with him. As I say, the midfielders, Maka must love him, because he's the pressure's been taken off him after last season, because he was asked to play in that position, and I don't think that's really his position, but he does, because he's played it last season. He understands it more, and it's a lot better when you have somebody like Ryan next to you. And this is when I say they played the double pivot role in there. Dominic Szoboszlai, okay, it's his second season, and I think he'll just push on. Some of his performances have been not so good, but that's because he's finding his way in a new system. He's playing in a newer position. He normally plays on the right hand side mainly, for his country. So, but he's been also good. Curtis has done all right when he's come in. Young Harvey's injured, so I'd rather him be a midfielder. But we've got all the young lads there. There's going to be loads of opportunities in the next 10 games when I read you the fixtures out. So yeah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Jota, Mo being Mo. So yeah, it's been a good start, and we should really embrace that start. As I say, we've got some tough fixtures coming on. So yeah, it is really good. I'll touch on them those fixtures now. I've got them here somewhere. Just bear with me. Here we go. Right, so Liverpool, we're back obviously on the 20th. It's the televised game. Chelsea at home, 4:30. That's on the Sunday. City play before us on the Sunday as well. They play Wolves away. That'll be 3 points to City. I don't think they'll have to try in that game. Wolves are not at it. But yeah, Arsenal play the day before. They play Bournemouth in the 5:30. So they beat Bournemouth. They go above us and City, and we'll sit pretty at the top of the table. I can't see Bournemouth doing much there. So and then we've got 23rd or 22nd and 23rd. It's the Champions League. We are away to RB Leipzig, and City are at home to Sparta Prague, and day before Arsenal go to Shakhtar Donetsk. So there should be, hopefully, we'll take some points from that. City will from Sparta Prague, and I'd imagine Arsenal would, even though Arsenal haven't started well. They've had 2 draws, have they? Unless something drastically happens, but I think they should see it. And then the 27th, or the 26th and 27th, City are home to Southampton. Easy 3 points for them. 3 o'clock kickoff, so that could probably see them go back to the top. And we play Arsenal, the biggie, at Arsenal. That'll be very, I mean, I thought that, the United game would have been a test for us away, and we handled that quite well. The Palace one could have been a hiccup, but we handled that well. We've won all our away fixtures. I'm going to stick my neck out. I think we'll beat Arsenal, because Arsenal haven't really played anybody either. So these are the fixtures that Arsenal need to beat us, or to win. But I'm sticking my neck out, and I think we'll beat Arsenal away at Arsenal. So yeah, that's the big fixture for both teams there. And then 30th, EFL games, Carabao Cup games. We're away to Brighton. City away to Tottenham. Ours is a 7:30 kickoff. City's is a 8:15 kickoff. Don't know why that is. Arsenal are away to Preston. So Arsenal play a young team against Preston. I think we might have lots of changes in that game, because the next game after that, we're actually home to Brighton 3 days later, and or 2 days later even. No, 3 days. City are away to Bournemouth in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Ours is 3 o'clock against Brighton. The 12:30 kickoff on the 2nd is Arsenal away to Newcastle. So let's see what happens in that game. And then the following week, we're going into November now, these fixtures on the following week, the 5th of November, which is a Tuesday, we're at home to Leverkusen. That'll be an interesting game. See Xabi Alonso back then. Sporting Lisbon away for on the 5th for Man City. See how that pans out for City. Arsenal, they've got Inter Milan away on the 6th, which it'll be a Wednesday, I would imagine. And then on the 9th, we are home, which is a Saturday, I believe. We are home to Aston Villa, 8 o'clock kickoff. So that'll be an interesting one. On the 9th, 5:30 kickoff. City are away to Brighton, and the one for Arsenal is, let's have a look, Arsenal, the 10th of November, which will be a Sunday, I'd imagine. 4:30 kickoff. They're away to Chelsea, so that won't be an easy game for Arsenal, by all means, with the way how Chelsea are playing, especially at home, free scoring. And then we have another crappy international break. Yeah, what can you say? What can you say? It's just stupidity about international football. So we have a 2-week break, and then we come back on the 24th, which will be a Sunday, I think, 2:00 game away at Southampton. City have Spurs at home on the 23rd, day before, 5:30 kickoff. 23rd, Arsenal have Forest at home. That might be a tricky game for Arsenal. Don't forget, Forest have gone to, well, they've beaten us, got a draw at Chelsea, and a couple of other good results. So 26, back to the Champions League. 26 and 27th, big one for us, Real Madrid. Real Madrid at home, 8:00 kickoff, Wednesday. On the Tuesday, City at home to Feyenoord, and on the 26th, Tuesday again, Arsenal are, I don't know whether they're at home or away, for Sporting. And then after that, on the 1st of the 12th, we've got City at home, 4:00 kickoff, and Arsenal are away day before to West Ham at the 5:30 kickoff. So they're the fixtures for the three teams. Toughies for all the teams there, because some games are every 3 days before the international break. So, so yeah, that's what it's going to be. Going to be a toughie for all three teams, but that'll give us a sort of like a yardstick just to see where we are at that part of the season, and then hopefully if we can get our points from the Champions League games, that'll do us nicely, because we won't have to worry too much about the games in February. Hopefully we can qualify with getting enough points on the table and play the youngsters in the remaining Champions League group table games. So this leads me on to the next part of this, is the contract impasse that has come out this week. I don't normally talk about contract things. I just leave them to the club and things and any transfers. But it's a funny situation where we have an international break and all of a sudden all the crap's coming out from the club. I'm not an FSG fan, and I've made no secret about that at all, because of the way that they've done certain things. Not all things that they've done have been bad. We've only got to look at the training ground now. We've only got to look at the stadia. The stadia is fantastic, 60,000. So they've made balls up in the transfer market in a few windows. We know that. But to leave your 3 first team, probably influential players, to run down the contracts is criminal for me. It is. This is my opinion. You might have a different opinion about this, but for me, it is criminal. You cannot allow this to happen, or you shouldn't have allowed it to happen. So I've looked into it a bit deeper to find out, why we've come to this impasse, as the club is saying. Well, when contracts come up for renewal, discussions are started 12, 18 months before your contract runs out. Or should do anyway, at any football club. But we didn't have a sporting director as such, did we? We had Mike Gordon looking after all the footballing side, or looking after Liverpool when Julian Ward went. Got to blame the club for this. It's no good. So they're saying it's a bit of an impasse. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have walked into this. I get that, but it doesn't mean to say that the negotiations have stopped or been stopped or haven't started. I'm sure there has been talk from all parties regarding this, but I wasn't happy the way that Liverpool came out with this and give it to their mouthpiece, Paul Joyce, who incidentally wasn't getting any news from Liverpool after Mike Edwards left and Julian Ward. He was getting no news at all. As soon as Michael Edwards walks back in and Richard Hughes, he's popping up now, being the mouthpiece of Liverpool. I mean, I've no problem with that, but with him giving that information out and nobody else, for me, this is a way of FSG trying to find out the reaction from us Red supporters. Now, there'll be some of us saying, give all three a contract. There'll be some of us saying, keep him, get rid of him, give him a contract. We need to buy so-and-so. I'll take the emotion out of it for me. I'll start with the youngest one, Trent. Trent's the vice captain. 18 months left on his contract. They've all openly said that they want to stay at Liverpool one way or another. We know that. Trent, as a young player, he'll have his management team turning his head about Real Madrid coming and wanting him to go and play for them. I would imagine all three would have thought, I'll just wait and see who comes and manages us and see how it goes. And I'd have to say all three have been more than impressed in what they've seen from Arne Slot and the way he handles them as players and what the team are about. So yeah, it's the Real Madrid, they're called Marca. It's the Spanish newspaper. They've said they put something out on the front page of the Sporting that they want if Trent doesn't sign his contract, we'll come in January and offer him what he wants, 400,000 a week or whatever. But they're not pushing it. They're not just like saying, yeah, we'll buy him in January. Now, for me, it would be absolutely criminal not to get any money for Trent Alexander-Arnold since he's been at the club as a 6-year-old. I mean, I can't advise Trent, but his legacy at the club, some of us will think it's been harmed. Others will think, well, good luck to him. He's a young lad. He's going to go and play for the best team in the world. You know, he's with the best players. He's going for the culture and whatever. You know, and he's also won everything at Liverpool. But he's the vice captain for me. And he's a local lad. If you dream about playing for Liverpool or any local team, that's where you should be. I understand that the old adage of being a one-club man is probably gone now. because of all the money that's swirling around football, but that's for another day. So yeah, it's really important the next month for Trent. Will he come out before January to say I'm leaving, or will Real Madrid ramp up the PR machine and put something out? He's got his best new buddy in the England setup, Bellingham. Is he still injured or is he still with England? I don't know. Bellingham, so yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one. As I say, Trent goes. Will his legacy be tarnished? Probably will. Me, I'll be very disappointed because the way the club's looked after him since the age of 6, he's probably way above his dreams of what money he was earning. But that's what football's about now. It's all about money to players, make them financially secure for them and their families and the next generation of Alexander Arnolds. So yeah, Virgil, I'd give Virgil what he wants. Club are probably offering 2 years. He probably wants 3 years. He's been colossal for us this season. I've seen a different side to his game management. He's a lot more vocal on the pitch, as Tsimikas found out on Saturday. But I was at the Bologna game. I was in the Lower Kenny, and I'm sure Virgil was talking to me at one point. He was that vocal. He's been absolutely colossal. Out of the 3 of them, I'd probably want him staying if the other 2 decided to go. But again, Virgil is saying that he's happy where he is. He wants to stay here. And FSG, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Mike Gordon, they need to get this mindset away about players having a short span when they reach a certain age of playing football at the highest level. But because of all the fitness and the diet that these players are given in the last, 10, 15 years, they can play longer. Replacing these 3 players is going to be nigh on impossible. So yeah, I would definitely be offering Virgil what him and his team are asking for, and getting him pegged down. As I say, he's been colossal so far this season, very vocal. He's been immense. The players around him, you've only got to look at our goal record so far against. It's brilliant. So, Mo Salah, what can I say? He's been outstanding for us. Absolutely outstanding. He's still breaking records, even this season. He's breaking records. But what would I want? I'd want Mo Salah of 2, possibly 3 years ago. He's not the same player. He's adapted to the new system. Hasn't got the pace that he used to have. He's got his upper body strength. It's a real difficult one. You're all probably spitting your drink out, spitting your food out while I'm saying this, but if this is his last season, I know he'll give 110%. If Liverpool don't want to offer him what he wants, I can see him leaving. But I'm sure that Hughes and Edwards are clearly working behind the scenes to get players in, especially for that position there. So yeah, I mean, Mo Salah went on TV, didn't he, after the Man United game and said he wanted to stay. But there's been no talks with the clubs. I'm sure that's not been the case. I'm sure there has been talks. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But as I say, the blame for me has to lie with the old regime before Edwards came back in and Richard Hughes came back in. You have to blame Liverpool. You can't blame the players or their agents or their management team. This is a cock-up by Liverpool, because we should never, ever be in this situation. The bottom line is, if all three left, you're looking at 200 to 300 million in replacement wages, maybe more. I haven't the foggiest who would replace those. Okay, Conor Bradley, young Conor, could fill in for Trent. He'd be more defensive, but he's an attacking forward. So Mo Salah, I've no idea. There's probably players out there who would, but I don't want to hazard a guess who would replace Mo and what he's done in his tenure at Liverpool. So yeah, financially, do we keep? Do we offer him? Or do we go out and splash the money that's needed to replace them? And FSG don't do that anymore. We did it with Ali and Verge, and that's because we sold Philippe Coutinho for 140 million. Barcelona were daft enough to pay that to us, and I'm sure they still owe us money from that. But yeah, okay, that's the end of this from me. All right, I've spoke for 40 odd minutes, I think. So I've given you my thoughts about the season. I've given you my thoughts about the contract situation. If you like this video, please give me a like. Please share it. Please subscribe to the channel. This is all things Liverpool, okay, and that's what we talk about on here. And I'd like to get some input from you guys as well about what you thought of this video. Okay, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, and I will speak to you on the Chelsea preview. Enjoy the international break. Up the Reds.